We are going to study about the what is find the specific knowledge we have already covered. Taken accountability and build and yeah, this topic I got different. Taken accountability. To get rich you need leverage. Leverage come in labor, come in capital, or it can be through code or media, but most of these like labor or can capital people have to give you for labor somebody has to follow you, for capital somebody has to give you money asset to manage or machines. So you, to get these things you have to build credibility, and you have to be under your name and much as possible, which is risky. So accountability is a double-edged thing. It allows you to credit when things go well and where you can go land badly. Clear accountability is important. Without accountability you don't have initiatives. Without accountability you can't build credibility. But you take risk, you risk failure, you risk humiliation, you risk failure under your own name. Luckily, in a modern society, there is no more better debt or prison, and people aren't imprisoned and executed for long, losing other people's money, but still socially hardwired to not fail in public under your name. The people who have the ability to fail in public under their own name are actually gain lot of power. I have give a personal anecdote up until about 2013-14. My public persona was entirely around startup and investing. Only around 2014 and 15 started working on philosophy, psychological thing, and broader things. I made a little nervous because I was it under on my name. There were definitely people in the city who sent me messages through their black channel like, "What are you doing? You're ending your career, and this is stupid." I can't have just went with. I took a risk. Shame with crypto. Early on, I took the risk, but when you put your name out there, you risk your certain thing. You get rep of reward. You get benefit. In the old days, the captain was expected to go down with the ship. She was sinking literally. Then, literally, the last person of accountability does not come from real risk, but thinking about the business content. The risk here would be, but probably be the last one get you capital back out. You are the last one you get paid off in the that you put in the capital you put company or risk. Realize that in modern society the downside risk is not large. Even personal bankruptcy can wipe the debt clean system. As I must familiar with the Silicon Valley, but generally people have forgive failure as long as they honest and made a high integrity effort. There is no really that much to fear on term of failure, and so people should take on more accountability than they do. uh, that's true. Build or buy equity in business. Why you're owning equity in a business is important because its ownership versus wage work. If you paid for renting out the time, even lower doctor, you some money, but you can't, but you're not going to make much money by financial freedom. You're not going to have a passive income where business earning for you earning patient. Probably one of the most important point. People seem to think you can create a wealth, make money through work. It's probably not going to work. There are many reasons for that. Ownership your input are closely tied to your output. In almost any salaried job, even one paying a lot per hour, like a lawyer or doctor, you're still putting in hours. Every hour you get paid. Without ownership, you were sleeping. You are not earning what you are not earning when you are vacation. You are not earning when you can't non-linearly. If you look at even doctor who get rich, like rich, it's because they open a business, they open a private practice, their practice build a brand, and the brand expect people attract people, or they build some kind of a medical device procedure or a process which intellectual property, essentially working for somebody else, and the person taking on the risk and has accountability the intellectual property and the brand. That's not going to pay you enough. They are to pay you a bare minimum that have to get out of their job. They can be higher bare minimum, but it's still not going to be to wealth where understanding only cutting the company basically means you are on upside. When you are depth, you are guaranteed revenue stream. You are downside, you want to own equity, don't own equity in a business, your hours of making money are very slim. You have to work up to a point where you can own equity business. You could own equity as a small sharer where you bought stock. You could also own an where you started as a company. Ownership is really important. Everybody want really make money at some point on a piece of a product, business, or in IP. That can be through a stock option or you tech company, but usually real wealth is created by starting your company by even investing. This time you having equity are the route for wealth. It does not come through arts. Oh, bad. Now let's talk about the next topic. Okay, yeah, find a position of leverage. We live in an age of infinite leverage, and the economic reward of genuine intellectual curiosity have been higher. Following your genuine intellectual curiosity is better foundation for career than following whatever making money right now. Knowledge only you know or only a small set of people know is going to become out your passion and your hobbies. Oddly enough, if you around your intellectual curiosity remove like to develop their passion. If I entertain you now, but someday it's a distraction. Keep looking. I am only really want to do things for own sake. This is a definition of our weather. It's business, exercise, romance, friendship, whatever. I think a meaning of life is to think on your shake. Ironically, when you do think shake, you create your best work. Even if you are just trying to make money, you will actually be the most successful. The year I most wealth for myself were actually the year I worked the least hard and cared the least about the future. I was mostly doing things for the sheer fun of it. I was basically telling people I am retired, I am not working. Then I whatever was the highest value project in front of me by doing things for your sake. I did them at their best. The less you want something, the less you are thinking about it, the less you are obsessing over it. Going to be natural way. The more you are going to be yourself, the going to be yourself. You are going to be the way you're good at. You are going to be stick it. The people around you will be security. Quality of your work is higher. Follow your intellectual curiosity more than whatever is hot right now. If your curiosity will lead to a place where society eventually want to go, you will be paid extremely well. You are more likely to have a skill society. Skill society does not know how to train the other people to. If someone can train other people how to do something, then they can replace you. If you can replace you, they don't have to pay you a lot. You want to how to do something other people don't know how to do. Same time period when those skills are demand. If they can train you to do things, then eventually you will train a computer to the society by giving it what it wants. Doesn't know how to get elsewhere. A lot of people think you can go to school and study how to make money, but reality is you are not a skill called business. Think about what product or a service society want but does not know how to get. You want to become a person who delivers it and deliver it as skill that in the how to make money. You are waiting for a moment when something emerges in the world then need skill set. You are uniquely qualified. You build your brand in the meantime on a Twitter, on a by giving up free work. You make a name for yourself and take risk in the process. When it's time to move on opportunity, you can do some leverage, the maximum leverage possible. There are three broad class of leverage. One form leverage is labor, when human working for you. It is the oldest leverage, actually is a great one. Modern world would argue this is a worst form of leverage. Yes, it is. Shall I continue with it? Or it will increase. Ah, I'm looking good. Mm. You are waiting for a moment when something emerges in the world. The need skill set. You are uniquely qualified. You build your own brand, invent time on Twitter, YouTube, and you are giving away free work. You make a name for yourself. You take some risk in the process. Then you time to move in opportunity. You can go to leverage. The maximum leverage for Shivam. Three board classes of leverage. One form of leverage is labor. Other woman working for you. It is the oldest form of leverage and actually not great one of the modern world. I'd argue this is the first form of leverage that could be possibly used managing other people in an incredibly messy. It requires randomness, readership skill. You are one of the short hop but you are getting eaten or torn apart from the move. More money is a good form of leverage. It means every time you make a decision, you multiply it with money. Capital is a trickier form of leverage. It's more modern. It is one of the people have used fabulously. Wealth is the last century. It's probably been the dominant form of the leverage in the last century. This is looking at richest people in banker, politician, or in corrupt countries who print money. Essentially, people have a more large amount of money. If you look at the top of the large companies, out of the technology companies, many large oil companies, the shoes job is really financial job. It is scaled very well. If you got good at managing capital, you can manage much more easily than you can manage more and more people. The final form of leverage is brand new, the most dramatic form. It is called product with no margin cost of replication. This includes bulk media, movies, and code. Code is probably the most powerful form of permissionless leverage. All you need to computer, don't need anyone permission. Wow, that's I totally agree with this. Forget rich versus poor, byte call versus below. It's now leverage. The most interesting and the most important form of leverage is the idea of product that has been no marginal cost of replication. This is no form of leverage. We only invented in a few hundreds. Yeah, I started with printing press. I listed with cast media. Now it's really blown up with the internet with coding. Now you can multiply your effort with involving other human without needing money in over. Book is form of leverage. Leverage long ago I would had to sit in a lecture hall and lecture each of you personally. I would have a maybe each few hundred people that would be and bad. When this form leverage the phase where all are made all on new values. Form of last generation fortune are made by capital. The people who made fortune from Warren Buffett. But the new generation fortune are made of through code on media. Joe Rogan making 50 million or 100 million was from this podcast. You are going to be a PewDiePie. I don't know how much money is rolling in, but bigger than the news. And of course, there Mark Zuckerberg, patient Bill Gates, or Steve Jobs. Their wealth is all code-based leverage. Probably the most interesting thing in right about the form of leverage is their permission. They don't require somebody else permission for you use their second. The for leverage, somebody has to decide to follow you. For capital leverage, somebody has to give you money. Coding, writing books, recording podcast, shooting, or you this kind of thing are permissionless. You don't need to anyone permission to them. That's why you are going allegation. They are great equalize of leverage. Every great software developer, for example, now army of robot working for after they return the code, it's cranking every way. You're never going to get rich renting your time. That's what I am saying. Whenever you can go live, whenever you can in a life optimize your independence rather than pay. If you are independence, you are accountable on your output and opposite input. Human involvement society where they no leverage. If I was chopping wood or carrying water for you, it are put in a good equal amount of. Now we invent a leverage through capital, corporation, technology, product. All this mean we live in an age of leverage. As a worker, you want to be leverage as possible. Have to huge impact without any leverage. Worker can outproduce a non-leverage worker without factor. With a leverage worker, judgment is far more important than how much time they put in or how hard they work. Where 10x program or 1000x program really exists, you just don't fully acknowledge. Satoshi Nakamoto. For example, good software is just by writing the right little piece of code by creating the little can literally create $1 billion for the value of a company. What 10 engine will cause they choose working wrong with the wrong product. You wrote it in a wrong way, but in a long viral loop have basically wasted their time. Input don't match For a leverage worker, what you want in life is to control your time. You want to get in a leverage job where you control your time, track your output. If you do something incredible to move needle, they have to pay you, especially if you don't they don't know how to do it, because initiate your obsession or skill or initiate ability, you're going to be keep paying the speak knowledge. You have accountability and you have leverage. They have to pay you whatever. If you pay what you are worth, then you can get your time back. You can get hyper efficient. You can not going waiting. You're not trying to impress other people. You're not writing things down to make it. If you are having specific knowledge, you have accountability and you have leverage to pay you what you worth. If you are pay what you worth, then you can get time back. You can hyper efficient. You are not doing waiting for meeting shake. You are not trying to impress other people. Oh wow, just do actually work itself. You are more productive, for more efficient. You work for more, feel like when you high energy and you struggle through. When you are low energy, you gain the little time back. Oh wow, it's great. Wow. One with your mind, not your time. That's it for today. Meet you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.